Welcome to the Husky Howl podcast. I'm Chad Summers. This is my co-host, Dr. Tiffany Hamilton, the principal at Magnolia Elementary, but also the illustrious co-host of the podcast. We are joined today by two very special guests that don't need much introduction at all. Coach Taylor Burt, head coach, softball coach for Hewitt-Trosville. Now entering your...
Honestly, I have no idea.
8th year?
Ninth? I think ninth.
Yeah, your first year was 2017?
Mm-hmm. Fall of 2017.
Yeah, I'm not good at math.
I think it's ninth.
It's 9.
Yeah.
I have a kid that's about to be 9.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
And we're also joined by Corey Goguts, recently graduated senior center fielder / first baseman for the Huskies, Gatorade Player of the Year, 7-8 Hitter of the Year, and just a force at the plate. I've never seen a human being hit a softball as hard as you. I really have not. I've joked before so hard that I used to joke up in the press box that if my daughter were playing first or third base, I would genuinely be concerned that you would play. I'm like, honestly, like run a helmet out there to her, sort of things.
And there's a couple times that people don't know who she was, that they played her like a slapper, and I was like, I know. Literally walked up and said, hey, you need to back up.
Yeah, you're going to get killed.
And I wouldn't do that normally. But you need to.
It depends on the opponent.
Yeah, I remember when the second base on something, my people like, yeah, you need to back up.
Well, Coach, we just want to talk to you about the season and just everything that happened last year. 2026, your 5th championship since 2019. That sounds like a loaded question, but just talk about that. What does that mean to you? I don't know if you know this or not. I think you probably do. But among active head coaches in the state of Alabama with championships, do you know where you rank?
I have no idea.
You're 4th.
Oh, cool.
And you're the female first. You're number 1 among female coaches.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah. There's a Hartselle baseball coach with 9.
Okay.
Mark Freeman at Thompson has 8 between 2 schools.
Oh, we're talking about all sports.
All sports.
All sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're number 4. Like, so that's pretty big. What does that mean to you? How does or just talk about that?
I mean, well, I obviously had no idea about that part. So if I'm not to sound like whatever, but that really doesn't. I mean, that's cool. It's cool. But it's one of those things where I kind of laughed at a lot of coaches who said they really enjoy the process just as much as they do the result. And I think Corey's sitting here right now, the process of all of it has been far more rewarding than just the end result. Coming out of, leaving North Jackson, wonderful humans, wonderful people, to coming into this. And it means a lot that we built something. The hard work and everything that's gone into it has shown its reward. That means more than just the win itself, as far as the effort and the time that you put into it, that you get good results from it.
So I've heard you referred to as the Nick Saban of
Don't.
softball. Okay, you're not a Saban fan.
No, I do. I love Saban.
But
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, when you think about it.
I love the guy that was my hometown newspaper guy.
Okay.
They're awesome people.
Yeah. Well,
I did catch some crap for that though.
But honestly, I mean, just taking the veil off, I mean, it's phenomenal. Whether you're a Husky fan or whatever, whether you've been to a game or haven't been to a game, the success this program has had is unbelievable. And what would you say is the backbone of that success? Because you've now, and I don't want to jinx this or whatever, but this is a dynasty. I mean, really. I mean, by definition, 5 championships since 2019. The 2020 team was pretty good until COVID got us.
Very good.
We were probably going to make some noise there. There's been one team other than the COVID year that wasn't in contention, that didn't play for the championship at the end. Mm-hmm. What is the backbone?
The girls and the coaches, and just their willingness to go above and beyond and do the crazy things. Our first couple of years, we were 5 a.m. 3 mornings a week, and I'm sure they didn't love it, but you didn't hear much about it. They just got up and did it. And, we don't go that many mornings anymore, but like just the selflessness of it all, I think, being able to put your own success and your own desires and your own wants to the side to do what it takes for the group to be successful, that's the hardest part. And it's the only reason why we're able to, be successful. Our coaches giving up time with their family and doing all the things and spending all the hours and the time. And then our kids, they work harder than anybody. And they work harder than a lot of college programs, if I'm just being honest. Like, there's several of them that have come back to me and been like, hey, what we did was way harder. Not to knock what they're doing, which granted, we don't have hour limits. They probably wish we did.
Yeah.
But, just being willing to do the hard stuff and not really, complain about it too much.
Yeah.
The selflessness of it all. It takes a lot because it's a lot of sacrifice.
It is a lot of sacrifice. The buy-in for the girls, is it hard to get them to buy in now, or do they just know, you look at the blue maps on the wall and they say, okay, there's the standard, here's what we have to do?
We talked a lot about that word this year, the standard, and it wasn't based off winning championships as much as it was no matter who's in the other dugout, you play to your level and your ability. Whether it's the best team you've ever faced or the worst team you've ever faced, like how you handle yourself and how you step on the product that you put on the field is the same no matter who you're facing. That was kind of how we approached it, was when you talk about the standard, and that was a big word for us. We've never really used it. That was a big word for us this year, but like it was more based on the little things that build to the results than it was the results themselves. So they really bought into that. And I think the first year group that we had to this year's group is light years different, but none any worse or better than the other. It's just different. Like, kids are different today. Like, it's they're surrounded with a world of instant gratification, and you have to kind of teach them that that's not what the real world is like. A lot of things are at your fingertips, but real success is based off a long, hard process of hard work and crap sandwiches a lot.
And I just want to piggyback off of that. One thing that you said, it's all about the girls. They're out there, they're putting in the work, and they are the success. They are the standard. But I want you to know that I'm proud of you, because I hear on the back end, behind the curtain, adults talking about you and your leadership and your determination and your ability to be driven and focused. And being at an elementary school, we don't have sports, but your name is out there. And so when your name is synonymous with, she's a leader in Trustful City Schools, and now you have adults who are talking about you, who want to work with you. It's amazing.
No, I appreciate that
it
very
really
much.
is.
I appreciate that very much. And like, when I first got here, it was very much a learning experience when it came to like, what's the standard here? What is expected here? And I bought into that too. Like I grew up in a small town that is full of very, very hardworking people. My parents to boot, and some really good coaches. But like, when you have such a large working machine like we have here, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that people feel that way, and recognize like what we set out to do and the level and time commitment that we put into it. Because
I'm just letting you know.
Awesome.
I hear the buzz, and and the conversation is, I want to work with her. I want to be not a part of the winning, but I want to be, like you said, I want to be a part of that process. I want to be synonymous. I want to be attached to what Coach Burt is doing.
You better be careful what they ask for in that.
But I mean, just that leadership, like you said, you didn't know that, you were number 4, you were number 1, and you don't think about things like that. But you're definitely a leader. And just proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that. I have good leaders in front of me, so that helps. Like, you get to see good things happen, and people lead the right way. It gives you a great example of what you want to be doing too. So
Who's
thank you for
somebody?
that.
Who's somebody behind the scenes that nobody knows about that doesn't get enough credit for you in your program?
All of our assistant coaches. To boot, really, I mean, Felicia Gullidge, Jim Bells, they've been there since before I've been there. You know, they were there, oh gosh, I don't know how many years this is, but I mean, at one point, those two were the only consistent thing that program had seen, because they had 5 or 6 different coaches in 5 or 6 years. And they selflessly, and very much so selflessly, stuck with a program that was very up and down, had seen a lot of change, just to provide some kind of consistency to the girls. And the girls that come back, like, that's the first thing they love on. You know, they love them. And then they stuck with my crazy crap for the last several years too. But our first one that we won, it was just us 3 on the field. Like, it was, you know, Gully and I up washing dirty tail socks at 3 a.m. Because we, very similar, the first year and this year was very similar. We pushed to about 1 a.m. and a rain delay and had to get up and come back the next day. But instead of for 1 out, it was for 3 games. But, you know, we were doing a lot of stuff like that a long time ago. And she's still doing it. He's still doing it. All of our other coaches, Emily, Maddie, Lee, Abigail, who obviously played for us at that point. They're phenomenal, and they don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
They don't get enough credit, because, you know, it's always like the person, it's my name that goes first, and then it's like, and assistant coaches. Well, that's horse crap. Their names should be out there too, because
Yeah.
not only are they good coaches, but they're phenomenal teachers. Not to knock what I do during the day, you know, but my daily job is way less stressful than theirs. Like, you know, Gully's a AP Chem teacher, and she is a phenomenal AP Chem teacher. That place wouldn't run without Jim, and then our other 3 are all in our exceptional education program, which I did for a long time too. So I know what they do.
Yeah.
So they don't get enough credit.
I've always said that if somebody ever makes a movie about a softball coach, like an old crusty softball coach, and I hate to say old crusty, Jim
yeah.
Bells has got to be the star. just this old cranky, you know, but he's just loving.
And look, I'll tell you something about Jim is he came in this summer when we were all gone, and the last 2 weeks of the season were just kind of a whirlwind. Like, it felt like we were coming in, throwing crap down, and leaving, and coming in. It was just constant back and forth. And so that place looked not up to his standard. I'll tell you that. And he spent a while getting it ready, and he's like, look, this is what this looks like. So the other day when I went and used it, I took a picture of where everything was at. I put it back how I found it, because that's what he expects too. So he teaches me something just as much as anybody.
That's so cool. And you're right. Your assistant coaches, they're like a machine. They're like one organism that's all working together.
I mean, how many times have you ever had a group say they've been together for 7
That's
years?
Right. It doesn't happen.
Doesn't.
because they go off and they want to become a head coach. It's almost like you said, they're the engine that drives your
Oh, absolutely.
machine.
Absolutely. I don't know I don't think I could ever go back to it not. It's all right. I don't think I could ever go back to it not being, you know, what it is right now with the help and the time that they put in.
I want to ask you a question just a minute about the transition from Goldie Payne to the new, because I admit I felt a little bit of angst when we were going, because the other place was home, and
Very much so.
I'm a little superstitious, and I'm thinking, okay, we won all of them there. Now we have this Taj Mahal, and let's face it, Goldie Payne, he was a trailer park. It was.
I mean, compared to what we're in now,
Right.
compared to a lot of other high school fields, it's
Yeah.
very nice.
And,
But
and I've been to some nice trailer parks, but
Yeah.
and it was a nice trailer
Yeah.
park. And now we're living in a condominium high rise.
That's right.
And so going from that to where we are now, in my back of my mind, I was thinking we better win one.
No, exactly.
Because the lot's
it
been
puts a lot of
invested.
pressure.
Did you feel pressure?
Absolutely. I mean, not necessarily like pressure, but I told them all the time. I was like, look, I said, we've got it, but now we gotta go keep earning it. Like, we gotta go tell everybody out here, like, they invested in us and they invested in our program, and we have to go show them that it was worth the investment. Not just from past success. That's the only reason it was even an option, but continued success in the future. And so, you know, to win it this year, is it a little bit of a relief? Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, especially with baseball doing it also, it helped probably give a little bit more publicity to it than what it probably would have had, if I'm just being honest. When two sports win at the same time, you know, it picks up a lot. So it's
On the same day.
on the same day, yeah. So it helps pick it up a lot, and I think hopefully all of those people out there that were not happy with it, probably really in the grand scheme, if they're not happy, they don't care about a state championship. But you know, they see that we're invested in girls and female athletics, and that's far more important than state championships.
It is, and you're right. And talking about one of the girls that you've invested in, Corey, you were in the program for 3 years, came as a sophomore. Do you remember the first time that you thought about softball? Hey, I might actually be good at this. Can you talk about like where you were and the age you were, and was it like 8U ball, or when did you realize that this was kind of?
I've kind of just like developed over the years. I've never been like, oh, like I'm good at my sport. I've kind of just played for myself, like not really worried about other things. Like it's kind of like go out there and have fun. Like don't put too much, like I don't put too much pressure on myself, because there's no point. Like it's a game, you're meant to have fun. Like that's what I tell myself when the moment gets big, is I'm like, it's a game for me. Like, so I've never really noticed like, hey, I'm like, oh, like I can actually go big, until like I had all these schools reach out to me for real, and I was like, wait, maybe I am really good.
Yeah, and you're committed to
Just a little.
Ole Miss.
On this side, yeah.
You signed with Ole Miss, and you're getting ready to, of course, as we talked to you, you're in a sling because you have a labrum tear that they fixed over the summer, getting ready for that. But
Which she played the last month with. Didn't know it, but she did.
That's what she said before we started recording. She actually tore it.
It was a random Sunday
Practice.
and she slid, right?
I hook slid into third, and my arm went back, but my shoulder didn't move, and I like popped my shoulder out, and I had Mitch come look at it, and he's like, "You're fine."
Yeah, and it because honestly, like nothing really changed. Like, you know, we minimized her throwing a little bit because she had some soreness, but for somebody with a complete tear, I've seen complete tears. Like a lot of their velocity is
Are
gone.
you left-handed? Mm-hmm. You have a labrum tear in your left arm, and you played center field and won a state championship. Okay, if this isn't a Netflix movie one day,
In our first area game, I remember I had to make like 5 throws home in 1 inning, and I was like,
oh my soul.
Yeah, but I mean, oddly enough, like a little bit of velocity difference, but not enough where you go, it's definitely torn.
Right.
Like you think, okay, she got some soreness, she's got some whatever.
she tweaked it.
Yeah, you know, and once we get done and she has an extended time where she has an extended period of rest, it'll be better. But, you know, little did we know.
That is crazy.
I asked her, I said, do you do everything left-handed? She was like,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely every single
She's
thing.
true blue left-handed.
That is it. Well, let me tell you what she did. This year, 29 home runs, which was number 1 in the country. Batted .618. Had 94 hits, drove in 91 runs, had 32 stolen bases. According to Max Preps, she's number 1 in home runs, number 1 in the nations in RBIs, number 1 in Alabama in home runs, number 1 in Alabama in runs scored, and she's number 1 in Class 7A in almost every offensive category. So that's who's sitting in the room with us here. And Corey, what was, you know, when you look back, people see the awards. What do they not see? Like a little girl that's listening to this that wants to be Corey Goguts, wants to be a Husky, wants to wear that uniform, wants to play in, you know, at the Bill Roberts Stadium. What do they not see? What does it take to be in your position?
They didn't see my process. Like, they didn't see... I've struggled a lot behind the scenes. Like, not just the game, like my mental side. I've struggled with that a lot. And that's really what this game is. This game is a mental game. It's not really your physical attributes. It's not physically what you put into the game. It's your mental. So I've done a lot behind the scenes to work on that, to get better for myself in that aspect. And then that's when my game really started to grow. That's when I really started to show more, like, of what I could, my potential. And So I would say, like, just find the little things that help you stay, like, calm and, like, all that. And if, like, for little kids, like, yeah, you need to work, like, on the field, like, you need to put work on the field, but you also need to take time to yourself. Like, especially with my terror right now, like, I've realized that taking time off isn't so bad. Like, it actually helps you. But, like, it's, yeah, you want to keep working, yeah, you want to do this, but taking time off and taking time to yourself can actually help your game a lot more.
Yeah.
I will say earlier, you know, we were having a conversation and, you know, she was saying that her favorite place to go and eat is rock and roll sushi. I love it as well. And she was like, but I don't like seafood. Guess what? I don't like seafood either. So I felt like we connected there. But what stood out most to me, you're young. And the fact that you have already established in your mind the importance of being self-reflective, the importance of having alone time in a society, as Coach was saying earlier, just this technological, everybody's on their phones, you know, everybody feels like they have to have this sense of belongingness. You have to have this group. You are a standout. You are you're rare to be a teenager who, you know what, is super self-reflective. I enjoy going and eating alone. And that was one of the things that we were kind of just connected on. Like,
I did too.
Guess what? I can go to a restaurant and eat by myself and it doesn't bother me. But, you know, you're not a kid, but you're young. And to already have established that, you know, that self-worth. And I'm okay eating alone. And I'm okay with really just having that quiet time. It will serve you well.
She worked hard to get to that point.
I did. And also recently,
such an testament.
talking about technology, I recently deleted Snap because I felt like it was too much to deal with the drama side of it. And like just knowing that like social media, like I know social media isn't good for me. I know my phone isn't good for me, especially Coach Taylor tells us all the time, put your phone away, you don't need your phone. Right. Like, I started to really, like, I have a bad habit of being on my phone a lot. And most of the time it's me on social media. So I'm trying to slowly delete social media because it's not good for me. And so recently I deleted Snap because it's just put unwanted, like, unneeded, like, amount of drama and things from, like, just, like, it's just social media. Social media does that. So I've just deleted it to know, like, hey, like, you don't need all this form of contact with somebody. Because that was, like, how I contacted some people. Like, some of my friends, I don't even have their number. I'm like, I don't need that form of contact with them. Like, if they actually wanted to hang out with me, like, be my friend, I would have their number.
Right.
So it's just,
So
like...
it helps you focus.
Yeah, it helps my focus. It helps me, like, get away. Like, because I need my social break. Like, I can't always, like...
Yeah.
My social battery does run low. So I do take time to myself and I do things because I need it. It helps me. Yeah. And like deleting Snap has honestly helped me a lot.
I've heard it said that we were never designed to be able to handle the amount of data that's thrown at us. Information. We can't handle it. I can. There was a time that when you were a pioneer, you lived in a town, you didn't travel more than 20 miles from where you were born. And your biggest problem might be your sheep getting out of the gate or something, or you can't
I didn't
find
have
your
a
cow.
phone until I was 17.
I wish I didn't have one now. I honestly wish I could throw mine in the river, but you know, it's, with life, you have to do what you got to do. But but helping you stay focused, the mental side is what you're saying is that's going.
Well, there's a lot that just comes with it at their age.
Yes.
There's just a lot. It's easy to send a message and it disappear and one thing or the other, and so it's like meaningful contact is contact that sticks around, and so you having somebody's phone or being able to call and talk to them on the phone, that to me is a whole lot different than
talk about, Coach, the psychological part of your job with dealing with teenagers, dealing with athletes, dealing with young women. How much of your job is
a lot of it,
not X's and O's because it's not football, but just because I've heard it said about you that you're so good at taking a group of young ladies and making them a team. What is it like in your shoes?
I mean, it's a lot. That is a lot of what we do. Like we had a former coach, Blair Perry, who's doing some stuff on the side. This mental training. She has a daughter who actually just committed to go play college volleyball. and she worked with our girls this spring, doing some different things. She knows a lot. Like when you hear it from your parents all the time, you don't necessarily hear it, or respond to it. But when you hear it from somebody else, and suddenly it's like,
Oh, yeah.
but
And the parents are going, I've been telling you this every
that's
day.
right.
thing.
That's right. So once they've heard it from me for so long, it kind of loses its effectiveness. But she came in and kind of went through some stuff with them and talked through some just affirmations and how we talk to ourselves and how we handle. I think if you were talking like she was talking to a young kid right now. I think a lot of what they need to hear is that how you talk to yourself matters. And, when you say words like I suck, then
gonna believe
you
it.
tend to believe it. That's right. And so we worked very, very hard on that side of things of, I get after their butt. Don't get me wrong. Like I can be a bit of a pessimist and get after them, but constructive criticism, try to, but like at the end of the day, it's, hey, you can do this. We expect a lot out of you. Like you're capable of doing it. On our side, a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is working on the mental side of things. And we wrote notes on our bat, things to remind us before we step in the box. Really? Oh yeah. Like, just something that when they look before they step in, they see something that is positive. It ranged from some things I'm not going to say to hey, you can do this. I can do this. Something as simple as I can, I will. And it just giving that affirmation, prior to your at bat or prior to the game. What was one of ours that we said before the game? I'm not nervous. I'm ready.
I'm prepared and all I do is execute.
Yeah, those are things we're just constantly like, and you say them over and over and over again, and the process of going through that was just to rewire their brain. But it is a lot, and now you do a lot with, I've had a bad day, so and so is going on with this or that. You have to handle that side of it too.
You have to somehow
You have to handle that side of it
work
too.
through.
Yeah.
Besides the championship game, what is one game this past season that really challenged you as a player?
Challenge a Vestavia game.
Really?
Yeah.
At our place or their place?
Theirs.
Yeah.
What happened?
I got hit by
Pitch.
a pitch and kind of ticked me off because then she went and said some words that I was already in my head, like it was already not a great game, and it just sent me over the edge, and I kind of
Just reacted poorly.
yes, and it was just that was
The
like
pitcher hit you then was talking trash to you?
Well, it was just got hit by a pitch, and then
And then,
it's
like-
a very heated thing, and it was just kind of a
We don't want
back
this
and
thing.
forth, back and forth thing.
I don't want this.
But the thing that
We
I
played
didn't
them a
like,
lot.
the
a
thing
lot.
is the girl, the pitcher, she plays for Bolts with me.
Oh, really? Okay, so you knew
But it's
her
just
outside.
it's just
Yeah.
back and forth kind
Yeah.
of thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it ended up being a good thing, as far as like learning a lesson when it came to being able to kind of
Yeah.
rein it back in.
Corey, what's
Get
one
control.
thing that Coach Burt says so much that you could finish your sentence?
There's she's always talking to me about like my emotions. Like she'll talk to me like get it under control basically, and I can like just read her mind. I can look at her face and be like, yeah, I'm sorry. Or like when I make a base running mistake, she'll look at me and I'm like, yep. Like she doesn't even have to open her mouth. I already know.
You already know.
Like there'll be a couple times where she's walking across the field and I'm already answering her question.
I didn't even ask it yet. No, Corey and I have grown a lot together too, from her coming in as a sophomore. A lot of people don't know her story. Big change, big uprooted her life to move here, and a lot of change in a short amount of time for a 15-year-old kid. So she's had to, and it's still a process, still working on it, heavily still working on it. But I'm proud of what she's done, and we've probably fought like cats and dogs several times. So but in a good way.
I
But
think,
yeah.
like, you know,
And
Coach-
just go ahead.
no, I just think one of the biggest, one of the biggest attributes I feel like, as an outsider to your success is your relationship building. And I don't feel like you would be as successful if you didn't pour into these girls as another mom, as a leader, as an aunt, as a, and it's just like, if as a coach, as a teacher, as a leader, and I always say this, I say this to my staff, I say this to everybody, you have to Maslow before you can bloom. You have to meet the students, your players, you have to meet their basic needs. You have to build that relationship with them. And I feel like sometimes it can be so cliche, but they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to pour out for you. They're not going to run through a brick wall for you until they know how much you care and that you would run through that same brick wall. And like I said, just being an outsider, I see that, I hear that, I feel that. Looking at Corey now, she knows that. So you're doing so much more, Coach, beyond coaching on a field. You're pouring into these girls, and it means something. It's important.
No, yeah, I appreciate that. And like we say all the time, they don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Right.
And so, which is exactly what you just said. But they, like, people like Corey, and not just Corey. Like, my goal is great. Like when you look back on it, like, you're not really gonna remember a ton about how you won or what happened or what. But like, I hope that I'm invited to their weddings or their, I have a group that's already graduated that, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I don't claim to be.
And you don't have to be.
Don't claim to
That's
be.
okay.
But even the ones that probably weren't my biggest fan, like, I hope they would know that if they called me, I would be there to help them any way I could. And, that's just the goal. That's what I try to teach them too. Like, we talk about such little stuff, like, if you walk past a piece of trash in the hallway, pick it up. Pick it up and put it like, you're not making your day a whole lot better by doing it, but you're making somebody else's day better by doing it. And so I think that side of things, as I've grown older, has just become insanely more important than
Yeah.
woo, you can
building
hit
up
a
human
softball. Yeah.
Right.
You want to
can
grow
hit
them
a
into people, not
That's right.
just good people.
Yeah, she's
right.
always talking about be good humans and it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we're talking, and we're almost done as we start to wrap up here, we're talking, you start tearing up. Why are you tearing up when you're thinking about?
Well, just thinking back to sophomore year, that was not a good time in my life, and knowing that they were always there for me, it's kind of hard realizing that, like, they're always going to be there, but they're not always going to be right there. Like,
Yeah.
I've had them by my side every day for the past 3 years, practically at this point, and I know I drove them up a wall. I know they drove me up a wall, but they were always there for me no matter what happened, no matter what was happening in my life, whether it involved softball or not. They were always there to help me. And it's just, going away is going to be a lot harder than I'm realizing, because I'm not always going to have people like that by me. Like, they're not always, like, yeah, they should, like, people should, but, like, they're not always going to be like,
You will. You'll just have new people. You'll have.
Yeah, and it's-
you'll have. And
Not
again,
much.
you've got to invite Coach Burt to your wedding.
Yeah.
And maybe us too. But,
Yeah.
they'll be there. They'll just be new people.
yeah, and like them being there and me being able, like, I would always go up to goalie because, like, goalie, like, understands me. So I would always talk to goalie about things, and, like, even on my rough days, like, she was always there for me. And
Yeah.
just having someone like that,
She's a tough cookie.
There's a lot more to it than softball, huh?
There's a lot more to it than softball. Yeah, softball. There really is.
Yeah.
It's a family.
A lot of people don't realize that.
And that's what people want to be a part of. They want to be a part of the family that you have helped create here. And we're just thankful that you're here. I get, as the PA announcer, I know I get on your nerves asking for the lineup.
No.
It's way too
You
early.
do a wonderful job, by the way.
but-
People don't realize that how much goes into it. Like, all of the outside part, looking in, our admin, our coaches, people like
There's
you.
a lot, yeah.
There's a lot that goes into making it successful. And
I'm just a sports nerd, and so I just like this.
I love it. I'm glad we have you too, because
It's fun. All right, as we wrap up, quick, because you have been kind to give us your time. Lightning round. Lightning questions here. back and forth. Other than the championship game, what was one game? Well, I already asked that. You said the Vestavia game was the game that challenged you, and that was your coach's toughest opponent this last season.
Toughest? Well, I mean, we played Vestavia hump team a million times. We didn't play Thompson until later on. So Thompson was a phenomenal team. Like, you know, X's and O's wise, they're very, very good.
And I didn't know this. They had one loss coming into the playoffs. We gave them 2 losses on the last day.
Yes, sir.
We doubled their losses in one day.
And that just goes to show how good. I mean, they're a phenomenal program, phenomenal team. Like, they're really, really good. But I think our games, probably with Vestavia, were some really back and forth stuff. We just probably got tired of seeing each other, if we're just being honest.
Right.
Most underrated teammate you had this year on the team.
Teammate?
Underrated? Like
a teammate that nobody maybe didn't make all the plays in the field, but was kind of pivotal with the team.
I mean, Presley was big, but she was big, pivotal. Like, she was big, so I wouldn't say underrated. But I would say the people in the dugout. They were very pivotal. They definitely helped with our energy. They helped pick me up, at least. Like, they helped pick everybody up in the dugout. Like, they're a big, like, yeah, they may not be on the field. They may not, like, they took that role and they rolled with it. Like, they didn't just be like, oh, I'm in the dugout. Like, no, they picked it up and they were like, I'm in the dugout, I'm gonna do the best I can with it.
And all the chants, I'm amazed at how many there are. And they're all situational. And like one thing will happen and boom, they're going.
Like Emily Bates especially, like I loved her fire, I loved her fight. She did not see the field very much, but she's like, y'all. She picked us up, she hyped us up, she yelled at us, like whatever we needed in that moment, she got it.
That's huge.
And I love her for like, she was like so big and she had the fire, she had the fight. And it like,
That's cool. Loudest teammate. Who was your loudest teammate?
me.
Oh, really? Okay, you're the loudest?
She's probably right.
I will say
She's probably
this.
right.
I do remember there was one game, and I can't remember which one it was, but there was a foul ball, and you yell something when it's like when you're getting up. I can't remember what you say.
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
And it's like...
It's our communication between infield, outfield. And they get out.
People in Long Meadow could hear it. Because I remember the other team was like taunting you after you did it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, okay, but everybody knows, nobody's going to run into her.
I was about to say, nobody's getting her kneecaps.
Right.
Coach, what's one word that describes this team this past year? Maybe different from the other team.
Yeah, I would probably say grittiness. They're gritty. We're gritty. We had a lot of come from behind wins this year. And even from the very beginning of the year, that was kind of our thing was they had a sense of confidence about them that, I don't know, probably I didn't even have, if I'm just being honest. And so, yeah.
I remember watching the team at the beginning of the year thinking, this is a good team. This is probably going to be a rebuilding year. No, we added a bloodbath. Favorite pregame meal before a game?
City Bowls.
City Bowls. What's your go-to at City Bowls?
The Beacon Bowl.
Okay. I'm the peanut butter power thing.
I don't really eat a lot before a game, so that was like a good energy source for me because
I thought you were about to say 7 Brew.
No.
That's where most of them come in if they have time. That's what they come in with. That's not very fulfilling. But yeah.
Is there a song that will remind you this season?
One you can say.
There is. It's like I don't know. One song that'll remind me of the memories from this season, not really the soulful side, but just everything that happened this season, is just random songs I would play in my car, 1982 by Randy Travis. Me and my friends, when we drove, we would put that on, and it.
Weren't expecting that,
right?
No, that wasn't on my bingo card.
Yeah, it's I would always mess with them with because I listen to random songs that they don't listen to, or it's weird.
Corey's a country girl at heart.
Yes.
That's good. Well, you're from Mississippi originally, so.
Yeah, but I lived in Florida and California for the longest.
Okay. Well,
She still owns Wrangler and boots. So.
that's good. That's good. And then finally, what will you remember, Coach, about the 2026 team when you think about it 20 years from now? What will you remember about this?
Holy crap. Probably exactly that is what I'll say. Is unexpected, but very welcome. Like, as far as, not that I didn't think we were capable of winning it, how everything went down was definitely unique.
Yeah,
Unique is probably the word that I'm using.
that's a good word.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Coach, Corey, thank you so much for being with us. Dr. Hamilton, as always, thank you for making this show better. This has been a great time with y'all. We've gone over what we were going to do, but hey, this has been a great conversation, and thank you so much. Congratulations on your
Thank you.
success.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Looking forward to
Congratulations,
starting
Corey.
next year. Let's do it all over again.
Yeah, we
Heck,
get
let's
started
just-
all over again in about a month.
Let's just win another one. Why not?
That's right.
Corey,
That's right.
best of luck to
Best
you.
of luck.
We are still in your corner. We're not going anywhere. We're going to follow you. We're going to text you. We're going to watch you on SEC Network. We're probably going to come see you play. So, best of luck to you and in your healing and all the stuff as you get better this season, this summer, and get ready to go to school. You said you report in August.
August 14th is my move-in date.
Yeah, we're expecting big things from you. Even though you're a rebel, you're always a Husky and always welcome back. So, but anyway, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
you.
This was awesome.
Good luck,
Thank you. I'm
sweetie.
glad you're starting it. Glad you're starting it back.
Yeah, you're episode number 1, so congratulations.
Awesome.
You're ahead of Jeff Molden. How about that? How's that feel?
Was he out of town this
You've
You
given me
knew I
so
was
much.
about to ask
You've
about
given me
that.
so much crap through the years about that whole thing. Well, for
You can cut that part out.
no, it'll stay. Well, for Tiffany Hamilton, I'm Chad Summers. This has been the Husky Howl Podcast. We'll see you next episode.